Well, that's great to know. And it sounds like you've made the program work for you and your lifestyle. You've gotten what you wanted out of it, but you don't
Yeah,
have to be perfect. So, I think that's great. We don't
yeah.
tell people they have to be perfect. It's, really figuring out what's going to work with them and their lifestyle. And it sounds like you found that.
Well, technically, I've been kind of following Dr. McDougall since the 80s. Like that's when I really read all his books, and implemented a lot of plant-based cooking and stuff. And I'm not 100%, which is really hard because the rest of my family's never been on board, but they've been very tolerant of me. And I'm certainly better today than I was, 30 years ago. But I joined the McDougall online. I was so happy when you guys had it online. I would have always loved to go to Southern California, and then you put it online. It was awesome. And so it wasn't new information for me, though there was a lot of new information there, but it's not like I never knew about you guys. But I did, one of my objectives for the course was to get off my blood pressure medication and get off my sleeping medication. And Dr. Lim didn't want me to take on too much, so we just focused on the blood pressure medication. And so during the course, then I was able to drop that and have never had blood pressure medication again, which is awesome. So that was a big one, and I managed to keep my blood pressure down below 130 over 80. If I'm good about being active, biking, hiking, walking, that kind of thing. The other day it was 111. And I'm like, wow, that was great. Mostly it's in the 120s, low 130s, so I'm excited about that. And I've been on sleeping medication for the longest time. I was on sleeping medication like Ambien and that kind of stuff. And I was noticing, cognitive problems, memory problems, which kind of scared me. I wanted to get off of it. And so since being in the course, which I think was like your second or third round, I think it was your second course that you guys had online. And so since then, I've been able to get myself off of all sleeping medication, so no Ambien, no Benadryl, no melatonin. Do I sleep fantastic? No, but I sleep adequately enough, to, certainly, I don't need medication. So I was really excited about that. And again, I'm probably like a 70, 80, 20, 30 McDougaller, and so I have I lost any weight? No, I'm probably still about 30 pounds overweight, but health wise, other than carrying a few extra pounds, my blood pressure is good, and every year I have my blood drawn and all my numbers always look good, and my skin's healthy, and so
That's great. It sounds like you got everything that you wanted out of the program.
I really did. Now I would have loved to have dropped 20 pounds, that came on when I hit menopause. It was like 20 pounds. It's like, oh crap. But
So I'm curious, what was it about the program that made you switch? You said you've been kind of following this for the last 30 years. What was it that kind of, was that moment that
it was
changed?
that extra level of I think interaction, you know what I mean? Like I can read books and I can, listen to his videos and stuff, but to actually connect with other people, and and so this kind of thing is, I don't think I McDougall any more now than I did before. You know what I mean? And my cooking, like I cook McDougall, but there are things that infiltrate the house, crackers mostly. Crackers, like I've been able to clear the house of chips, and it's like, don't you dare bring that stuff in here. But there are things like crackers are a big one for me. I'd love to, I'd probably drop 5 pounds if I just get, but anyway, but I think that, just that extra level of connection with other people. I'm pretty isolated in my environment. My kids, I think, appreciate some of the dishes that I make that they really like, but I don't know anybody who's like me, in my world, outside of, the computer. And so it's nice to, hear from you guys, like, in person, virtually, in person, in real time, I guess. And so I think that brings an extra level. And I love the fact that, you guys are my doctors, you know what I mean? If anything ever did come up, that I would have somebody who believed this way, you know what I mean? And because my doctor doesn't really, and I have a son-in-law who's a doctor, and I even mentioned something about the Fiji water, and his response was that I shouldn't have said that, I'm like, oh crud. He probably thinks I'm a whack job. But, so it's nice to know that if I have any questions, I have Dr. McDougall or Dr. Lim, to go to for some real sound, evidence-based advice. I love evidence-based, I'm in the dental world, and we're evidence-based in the dental world as well. So I appreciate that,
Thank you. Well, that's great to know. And it sounds like you've made the program work for you and your lifestyle. You've gotten what you wanted out of it, but you don't have to be perfect. So, I think that's great. We don't tell people they have to be perfect. It's, really figuring out what's going to work with them and their lifestyle. And it sounds like you found that.
Yeah. I mean, am I there that, it would be 100% perfect if I could just, be super good and drop. Because when I am 100% compliant, lose weight, especially if I keep active and move around, the weight drops off. It's just being 100% consistently. And I was for about 1.5 years after the program. I was like really good, though I only dropped like maybe 7 pounds. But and then you fall off and things, you know what I mean? But for the most part, I've been able to keep up my health, and for my age at 63, and still being able to do the things that I want to do, and hopefully, stay healthy for a really long time.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I did get everything out of the program that I wanted to get. Yeah. I just really appreciate you guys. I don't know what you guys are going to do when we ever lose Dr. McDougall, but I really appreciate you guys, because all that you guys do, I think it's fantastic. It's great to see the world kind of coming around more and more. They're not there yet. Like your dad's always saying, it's these big corporations that, get in the way, but
we're getting there. We won't give up.